You know that little blue dot that guides your life? The one that gets you to the closest coffee shop or navigates a huge road trip? It feels like straight up magic, but it's not. It's actually one of the most incredible pieces of engineering we've ever built. So let's pull back the curtain and see how it really works.
I mean, really stop and think about it for a second. How does this little gadget in your hand pinpoint your exact location on a planet that's spinning through space? The answer, surprisingly, isn't really in your phone at all. No, it's thousands and thousands of kilometers right above your head.
The whole system hinges on this incredible invisible architecture in the sky. We're talking about a whole constellation of satellites, more than 30 of them, all maintained by the US Space Force. And each one is just a masterpiece of precision, orbiting Earth from 20,000 kilometers up and moving at blistering speeds. But here is the absolute key. We know their exact positions at all times. They are basically the fixed, reliable points in the sky that make everything else down here possible. And this amazing network is what we call the Global Positioning System, or GPS. Its entire job is to provide just two things to anyone with a receiver, anywhere on the planet: your location and the exact time. And you know the best part? That signal is totally, completely free for all of us to use. So, what's actually in that signal that they're beaming down? Well, it's remarkably simple. Each satellite is constantly shouting out just two little pieces of information: its own exact location in space and the hyper-precise time that signal was sent out. That's it. Your phone's GPS receiver snags that signal and looks at the time it arrived. Now, because that signal is traveling at the speed of light, which is a constant, it never changes, your phone can do some simple math. It measures that tiny, tiny travel delay, and just like that, it knows its exact distance from that one satellite. Okay, but knowing you're, say, 20,000 kilometers away from one satellite isn't super helpful, right? That just means you're somewhere on the surface of a giant imaginary sphere. To get that little blue dot on your map, your phone needs to listen for a few more of those signals. This whole process is called trilateration. So, the signal from a second satellite creates a second sphere. And where those two spheres overlap, well, that narrows down your location to a perfect circle. Then a third satellite signal creates a third sphere that cuts through that circle at exactly 2 points. One of those points is usually way out in space, and the other one, well, that's right where you are. But wait a minute. If 3 satellites can already find you, why does your phone always seem to be looking for at least 4 satellites? What's that fourth one even for? Well, the answer, once again, is all about time. You see, those satellites up there are carrying these incredibly stable, multi-million-dollar atomic clocks. They are ridiculously accurate. Your phone, on the other hand, has a standard, cheap little quartz clock. It's good enough for everyday stuff, but it's not perfect. It's got these tiny, minuscule errors. Now, in a system that relies on timing signals traveling at the speed of light, a tiny clock error, even just a millionth of a second, can throw your location off by hundreds of meters. That fourth satellite is the master reference. Its signal lets your phone figure out its own clock's tiny error, correct for it, and by doing that, it locks in your final super precise position. Okay, so that's the theory in a perfect world. But down here on Earth, things can get, well, a little messy. That signal has to travel through our whole atmosphere and bounce around all kinds of obstacles just to reach your phone. To deal with all this, your phone has some pretty clever tricks up its sleeve. A clear view of the sky is always number one, of course, but it also uses something called assisted GPS, which gets a quick little hint from nearby cell towers to speed things up. It can even use Wi-Fi networks or its own internal sensors, like its compass, to sharpen your position when that satellite signal is weak. And of course, some things are just plain unavoidable. Tall buildings in cities create what we call urban canyons, which can block and reflect those signals all over the place. Dense forests, tunnels, and even really bad storms can mess with that faint signal trying to get all the way down from orbit. So why does all this amazing tech matter so much? Because over the last few decades, GPS has quietly become this fundamental, invisible utility. I mean, it powers our modern world in ways you might never, ever expect. Of course, there's the obvious stuff. Your ride-sharing app completely depends on it to connect you with a driver and then get them to your doorstep. It's also how pretty much every commercial airplane and giant cargo ship safely navigates around the entire globe. And this is a big one. It is absolutely critical for emergency services.
It lets 911 dispatchers send help to your exact location instantly.
But it gets wilder. It guides automated tractors and smart farming to be incredibly efficient and directs heavy machinery on construction sites with centimeter-level accuracy.
And get this, the entire global banking system relies on that super precise time signal from GPS satellites to securely timestamp billions of financial transactions every single day. But there's one last secret to GPS, and it's an absolutely mind-bending one. Without one specific, constant, tiny correction that's based on one of the most famous theories in history, the entire system would just fail. In fact, it would be off by several kilometers every single day. It all comes down to Albert Einstein's theory of relativity. See, the satellites are moving so incredibly fast and are so far away from Earth's gravity that for them, time literally ticks just a tiny fraction of a second faster than it does for us down here. It's bizarre, but it's true. Engineers have to actively correct for this effect. Without Einstein, your GPS couldn't even get you to the grocery store. So the next time you see that little blue dot on your screen, just remember what it really is. It's the end result of atomic clocks, orbital mechanics, and the fundamental fabric of space-time itself. All of it working in perfect harmony, just to make sure you don't miss your exit. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and subscribe for more tech, simplified.